It was a quiet morning in a small roadside cafe, the kind where the smell of coffee fills the air and the chatter is soft and familiar. The waitress had been on her feet since dawn, serving customers with a tired but genuine smile. Then she noticed an elderly man sitting alone, slowly counting the few coins in his withered hands. His face showed both dignity and struggle, the kind that life carves over time. When he realized he didn't have it enough for his coffee, he looked embarrassed, ready to walk away. Without hesitation, she stepped forward, gently placed a cup in front of him, and said, "Don't worry about it. This one's on me." It was such a small act that she didn't think twice about it. To her, it was just coffee. But to him, it was something far greater, a reminder that kindness still exists. But what made her gesture so meaningful wasn't the price of the coffee, but the purity of her intentions. She didn't do it for tips, recognition, or praise. She did it simply because it felt right. Her kindness came from habit, not calculation. In a world where people often give, expecting something in return, her act stood out as something rare, genuine generosity without an audience. To her, it was just another ordinary morning, just another customer in need of a little compassion. She didn't know anyone was watching, and she didn't care if anyone noticed. But true generosity never needs a witness. It lives quietly in the small choices we make when no one else is paying attention. And though she thought her kindness would go unnoticed, that simple moment of giving would soon echo far beyond that small cafe. As the old man sipped his coffee, he watched her move from table to table, still smiling despite her fatigue. There was no pretense in her kindness, no hint that she wanted to impress. She treated every customer with the same warmth, from the businessman in a suit to the child spilling juice on the floor. The old man noticed the way she spoke gently to everyone, how she made the cafe feel like a small corner of comfort in a rushing world. He didn't say much, but his eyes followed her, quietly observing. What she didn't know was that he wasn't just another customer. He was watching something he rarely saw anymore: genuine care. In that brief interaction, she reminded him of a value far more precious than money: the beauty of a giving heart. Sometimes, it takes a stranger to restore our faith in humanity. Later that day, as the waitress wiped down the tables and prepared to close, the old man returned. But this time, something was different. He was dressed sharply, with confidence in his step and kindness in his eyes. The same man who had struggled to pay for his coffee now looked like someone entirely new. When she approached him with a puzzled smile, he gently revealed the truth. He was not just a customer. He was a billionaire who had been quietly visiting small cafes, searching for people whose kindness came without condition. Her simple gesture had touched him deeply, reminding him that humanity still exists in the simplest corners of life. In that instant, everything around her seemed to stop: the noise, the clatter, the rush, leaving only the weight of that moment. What she thought was small had just changed everything. The billionaire smiled and told her that he had been searching for someone just like her, someone who didn't let the world harden their heart. He explained that her kindness had reminded him of his late mother, who used to say, "Real wealth isn't in what you keep, it's in what you give." He wanted to honor that spirit. To her disbelief, he offered to invest in her dreams, whether it was opening her own cafe, paying for her education, or helping her family live more comfortably. She stood there, speechless, tears in her eyes. realizing that the small gesture she made with no expectation had come full circle. What she thought was a fleeting moment of compassion had become the turning point of her life. Her kindness had not only touched her heart, it had transformed her future. Sometimes, blessings return disguised as miracles, in the end. What stayed with her wasn't just the opportunity or the generosity of the billionaire. It was the lesson behind it all. She realized that kindness isn't measured by wealth, status, or recognition, but by the sincerity of the heart. What she gave that morning wasn't just a cup of coffee. It was compassion, freely offered without hesitation. And in return, life gave her something far greater proof that goodness still moves quietly through the world, finding its way back when least expected. The billionaire had found what he was looking for, but she had found something even more valuable, a renewed faith in the power of giving. That day, she understood that kindness is the truest form of wealth, one that never runs out, no matter how much you share. Because when you give from the heart, you're already rich.